This is not the video that I planned to film today, but it's probably the video that needs to be filmed, so I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I have a whole script, not a whole script, but I have bullet points of what I wanted to talk about today, what kind of video I wanted to film. And I usually don't script my videos. They're very raw, they're very like on the spot. And I think of it while I'm driving here to this park here. And maybe I'll have a few bullet points, like I'll have a little sentence, like what I want the topic to be. Anyway, to the point, the reason why I chose not to film that video that I had ready is because it's important to follow your gut instinct, your feeling, your intuition, especially if you're a person like me who is usually on the mark when it comes to our gut feelings, whether to do something, to not do something, whether we should trust someone or not trust someone. And usually that feeling we have is correct. This is actually really difficult for me. Like, I don't want to. There's so much resistance, but I know I gotta talk about it. I woke up today and I've been having a fuck ton of negative thoughts. Thoughts that I don't normally have. And for reference, it's 9 a.m. right now, so I've been awake since 6:30 a.m. or so. And it's been wave after wave after wave. It's like, what the hell? So this is not the norm for me, not at all. Like, usually if I have a bad thought, it just, passes by, goes away. And yes, this is happening, but it's just reoccurring. It's like negative thoughts that I know aren't even true, like, oh, nobody likes you, or oh, this person's mad at you, or oh, you can't do this, you're unable to do this, you suck at speaking, why are you even doing YouTube, nobody actually cares about you, you're annoying to your family. Like, it's just like the most random shit, like the most out there stuff that I genuinely don't believe, yet it exists. I'm racking my brain, right? I'm racking my brain. I'm at home. I'm in my room. I'm racking my brain. Literally, like, what is going on? Could it be what I ate yesterday? Usually I have a very clean diet. But yesterday I had some cake. I had some donuts. I even ate a few hot Cheetos, that Red Lake 40, that yummy Red Lake 40 chemical. I'm like, all right, is it my diet? Did I wake up with a funk because, food can make us stupid? Literally, food can make us stupid? Or is it because of programming, my subconscious mind? It's stuff that happened in my childhood? Or is it because my father and my dad's family are overly critical? There's always something to criticize, or nothing is ever good enough? Or is it because when I was in 6th grade, my best friend at the time decided to leave me alone at the theme park and go with somebody else and did not give a fuck, and I just accepted it? I had to scrounge to find a new group of friends to hang out with because he decided I wasn't cool enough? What is it? What is driving this mental patterning? What is driving this mental illness? Or am I overthinking it and it doesn't even matter? And I really question this. I really question this, because does the story actually matter? Does it matter why I'm having these thoughts? The fact of the matter is that they're occurring. They're coming up and I'm like, all right, letting it go, doing my best to practice, what meditation is for, just to allow those thoughts to pass, like clouds in the sky. Although there are no clouds in the sky right now. But I can feel that I'm not myself, not my normal self. The self that I usually embody, that has a strong-seated ego, that, I'll have a negative thought here and there. However, overall, I'm chilling. I feel very good about myself. Of course, bad days happen. So let's get back to that, right? Like, does the story matter? Will I ever even know where those thoughts are stemming from? Like, will I ever 100% know? I don't think so. I don't think it even matters, actually. The story we tell ourselves of why we have certain behaviors, certain thoughts, is less important than actually changing that patterning, changing those behaviors. So let me tell you a quick story, all right? About a year ago, I did my first NLP session. If you don't know what NLP is, NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And it's a type, like an offshoot of hypnosis, like hypnotherapy. So NLP's goal is to go into our subconscious mind and change certain thought patterns, certain behaviors, certain schemas that we have that are not beneficial to us, that are there because they were programmed when we were children or whatever. And we want to get rid of that. We want to change the type of relationship that we want with our subconscious patterning. So I had my first NLP session, right? And I'm sitting there with my NLP coach, and we do this practice, or this session. I close my eyes, right? And he tells me to pictures myself in a movie theater. And he tells me to pretend it's a movie, the movie of my life. And in this movie of my life, I'm going to play the traumatic parts of my childhood, or certain parts that really hurt me, that really deeply impacted me as a child. And I specifically remember one scene that I had playing on that big screen that I'm imagining, and he's telling me, all right, now change certain things about that scene, make them silly. So like pretend instead of them shouting at you, there's like bubbles coming out of their mouth, or it sounds like they're talking with a baby voice. My NLP coach is telling me to change certain things about that memory that make it silly. It's such a serious, traumatic moment. And I remember exactly the memory that really changed my perspective on things. I see my mother, right? And my mother, in the memory, I'm starting to modify it. So as a child, my mother is like the scary, fierce, very scary woman. I am terrified of her. If you know my story, you know that I had a devouring mother, and I used to suffer from deeply seated mother wounds. So as a child, I'm terrified, right? The memory is of me being absolutely terrified by my own mom. I'm starting to change the memory though to make it silly, to make it like a silly movie like The Three Stooges or something like cartoon like Tom and Jerry, and he's giving me these commands to change this, change that. Like instead of her yelling at me, there's bubbles coming out of her mouth, or the colors of the room are starting to change. I'm having these thoughts like, what the heck, like this is such a weird practice. In that moment I realized that everything that has happened to us, that has happened to me, only exists here. It's not real. It was real, but it no longer exists. It's gone, it's done. It doesn't exist anymore. It just exists between our own ears. It exists in our subconscious, it exists in our mind. But that's the only place that it exists. And there's this light bulb moment at the end of my session where I'm like, oh my God, it's not real. Like, it's not real. I don't have to carry these heavy, traumatic memories. Or if I do carry them, they don't have to have that heaviness to them. They don't have to knock me out each time I'm triggered or thinking of that memory. The reason I'm able to tell you this is because that practice worked. The reason I'm able to go into that memory now, when before it used to make me shake. I would get clammy, sweaty armpits. It would ruin my whole day. And now when I think about it, even when I recall the memory as it is, it doesn't have that power. I gave away the power through that practice. I saw that I could change it. Yeah, of course, there weren't bubbles coming out of my mom's mouth when she was yelling at me. It was near the end of that session that I had that moment. I am laughing. I was laughing at the funny scenes, the little funny changes that I was making to that traumatic memory. I am laughing right now with my NLP coach. I'm laughing at a memory that used to make me whimper, make me tremble, make me angry. It was a memory that at the core made me feel like a broken person inside, made me feel like a broken boy, like something was wrong with me. And here I am laughing. And it's like something in me shattered that belief, like it's not real. It doesn't have to have that heaviness. It doesn't have to carry that burden. I don't have to carry that anymore. I can choose right now to not live in that past. I can choose right now to change how heavy that burden is, to change the memory, to change the charge to it. It doesn't have to be super negative anymore. It can exist in my mind, in my brain, without it fucking me up, without it giving me trauma, without it making me bad. That NLP session was one of the most powerful moments I've had. And I've done a lot of healing modalities. I've done a lot, I've meditated, I've journaled and all that. And they're all super valuable. I will never knock them. But that one session was the thing that I needed to break something within my mind. It was what I needed to truly understand. Wow, the past doesn't exist. And I can change my relationship with it easily. It didn't even have to be difficult. It was this one simple thing, one simple practice. If I didn't want to, I didn't have to live with that pain anymore. I didn't have to live with that pain. Imagine the impact of those words with the painful memories that you have. To be in liberation, to be liberated of that. You don't have to live in that pain anymore. Something in my subconscious mind had just changed. And that's where I connect to the earlier part of this video where I'm having all these negative thoughts, right? Way more than usual, way more than my normal. And it's like, it feels different. I don't like it, obviously. And I'm wondering, oh my God, is it because I had a shit diet yesterday? Is it because I haven't been sleeping that well? Is it because whatever, trauma? And I'm like, I stop myself. Just allow it to be. The memory or the story that I have of why this is happening today doesn't actually matter. Obviously, it matters when we want to find out the root of something like that's really big, a big pattern in our lives that we have to undo or reprogram. Sure, then it has some value, some worth to know where something comes from. But when it comes to something like this, where it's just a one-off day or maybe a couple of days or however, it doesn't actually matter. The story that I attach to it doesn't matter. It's gonna pass by anyway. It's gonna go away. It's not real. Maybe I have more subconscious work to do. Maybe I have to go to sleep earlier. Maybe that type of food is no longer for me. I can work on changing these things. It's just feedback. But I don't have to attach myself to why this is happening. And if there's something of value in those negative thoughts, then I can meditate on it. I can take my time to extract whatever value there is in there. If there's a behavior I need to change, or if there's something I can improve, I'm all right. It doesn't have to be personal. It doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me a failure. It doesn't make me worthless. It doesn't make me annoying. All those negative thoughts that I'm having, all right? Because at the end of the day, if you're doing your best, if you're really doing your best, you will know. Your soul will know. And that's what's going to really count. That's what's going to uplift you. You going to bed knowing that you did your best. That's the type of peace of mind that we should strive for. The story doesn't matter. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. So let's just do our best. Let them pass by. Change our relationship with those memories. If you're interested in topics like this, and if you want more information, more in-depth resources on, subconscious reprogramming or identity changing, masculinity, etc., click the link down below. I'm creating a community. I'm creating subliminal self-hypnosis tracks. And if you want access to that, it's free down below, especially for the people who are wanting to grow with me. A brotherhood, a tribe of men who want better. Remember to take a deep breath, because I just realized that I wasn't taking nice deep breaths. Sounds corny, but trust me, the breath, that shit matters, man. Join me. In this community, we'll remind each other, hey, fix your posture. Breathe deeply. Let's go, let's get it. There's a lot of value in that. Can't wait to see you there. So I'll catch you there, and I'll catch you in the next video.